Princess Anne just told everyone this huge secret about King Charles, and he wants consequences. You won't believe the never-before-heard-of secret she just told the public. The privileges of royalty and the demands of life as a person in the eyes of the public can be somehow expensive. But for the rebellious Princess Anne of the British royal monarchy, such customs and norms are just old wives' tales. From the fields of charity, the inner rooms of the royal mansions, and to the toe-licking incident we'll tell you more about in a moment, she has laid her prints expressing new patterns and standing out in unexpected and odd ways. Stay tuned to find out the awe-striking details she uncovered, which took her own brother, King Charles, by surprise. She was born on August 15, 1950 at Clarence House, the second child, and only daughter of Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip. But her early life wasn't the dreamy story most imagined for royalty. Even with all the privileges and traditions around her, Anne's childhood was shaped by distance duty and high expectations. When Anne was just 18 months old, her mother became Queen Elizabeth II in 1952. From that point on, her mother was not just her parent, but also the country's monarch. Like her brother Charles, Anne was mostly raised by nannies and governesses such as Catherine Peebles, and had her lessons within Buckingham Palace with private tutors. Many have described Queen Elizabeth as a distant mother because of her royal duties, but Anne has always stood by her mother. Anne's upbringing closely mirrored her mother's childhood, where governesses and tutors played a big role in her education, while her parents were busy with royal duties. In 1963, when Anne was 13, she went to Benenden School, a well-known boarding school in Kent. It wasn't easy leaving her home and family, but this move helped her develop independence, and she thrived academically. By 1968, she had earned 6 GCE O-levels and 2 A-levels, a remarkable accomplishment, especially with her royal responsibilities. Alongside her royal duties, Anne had a deep passion for horses. Throughout her life, Princess Anne, also known as the Princess Royal, played a key role in supporting her mother, Queen Elizabeth, in her duties as head of state. She represented the Queen at various events across the UK and overseas, attending important state and ceremonial occasions alongside other members of the royal family. As a working royal, Anne participated in several annual ceremonial events led by the Queen, such as Trooping the Color and the Remembrance Day service at the Senate Tav. These moments of national pride or reflection saw the royal family come together to show support for the Queen and to unite the nation. Another vital aspect of Anne's role has been representing the UK abroad. Acting as an ambassador, she carried out up to 3 overseas tours each year for the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, in addition to traveling for her extensive charity work. Princess Anne's royal visits often included receptions with local business leaders and meetings with politicians and officials, allowing her to represent the UK on the international stage. A notable example was her attendance at the 20th anniversary of the Sorbonne genocide in 2015. In 1990, she made history as the first member of the royal family to visit the Soviet Union, officially a groundbreaking moment in royal diplomacy. The Princess Royal has also played a key role in recognizing achievements within the UK and the Commonwealth. She frequently conducted investitures on behalf of the Queen, presenting medals to individuals honored in the New Year's and Queen's birthday honors lists. These events allowed Anne to meet people from all walks of life, including community volunteers and members of the armed forces. She also attended garden parties at Buckingham Palace and the Palace of Holyrood House, where she continued to connect with people from various backgrounds. But beyond her royal engagements, Princess Anne has had a long-standing commitment to charity work. Princess Anne has been officially involved with over 200 charities and organizations. One of her most notable roles was with Save the Children, where she served as president from 1970 until 2017, and continues as a patron. Over the years, she has visited the organization's projects in countries like Bangladesh, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Mozambique, and Ethiopia. In recognition of her tireless work, Anne was even nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1990 by Kenneth C.A., then president of Zambia. In 1991, she founded the Princess Royal Trust for Carers, an organization aimed at providing support for unpaid caregivers. Her work with St. John Ambulance is another key part of her philanthropic efforts. As Commandant-in-Chief of St. John Ambulance Cadets, she has helped guide and support young people through the organization, and she attends the Grand Prior Award reception each year. She is also a patron of St. Andrew's First Aid, further underscoring her dedication to causes that promote health safety and humanitarian work. Princess Anne's ability to balance her royal duties with extensive charity work is a testament to her her dedication and tireless work ethic, continuing to serve both her country and causes close to her heart. In 2021, Princess Anne became a patron of Mercy Ships, an international charity that operates the world's largest non-governmental hospital ships. Her involvement in sports administration is also significant. She represents Britain in the International Olympic Committee and was a key member of the London Organizing Committee for the 2012 Olympic Games. Additionally, she serves as president of the British Olympic Association and represented Great Britain at the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics in Russia. Anne's academic and cultural contributions are equally notable. After the Queen Mother retired in 1981, Anne was elected Chancellor of the University of London by its graduates and has held this role ever since. From 1973 to 2001, she was also the president of BAFTA, demonstrating her long-standing connection to the arts. She has twice served as Her Majesty's High Commissioner to the General Assembly of the Church of Scotland, once in 1996 and again in 2017. In 2007, Anne was appointed Grand Master of the Royal Victorian Order by the Queen, a position previously held by her grandmother. Her contributions to science and medicine are reflected in her status as a Royal Fellow of both the Royal Society and the Academy of Medical Sciences, making her the first royal to hold this position in the Academy. As of 2022, she is one of the 4 Royal Fellows in the Royal Society, alongside Prince William, the Duke of Kent, and King Charles. In 2011, Princess Anne was elected Chancellor of the University of Edinburgh, following in the footsteps of her father, who stepped down from the role in 2010. That same year, she took on the roles of President of the City and Guilds of London Institute Master of the Corporation of Trinity House and President of the Royal Society of Arts, all of which were roles her father had previously held. Through her wide range of duties, Princess Anne continues to serve in a variety of leadership roles, whether in sports, education, or philanthropy, showcasing her dedication to public service across multiple sectors. Princess Anne has been deeply involved in public service throughout her life, taking on numerous roles and responsibilities. She became the president of the Commonwealth Study Conference, which was founded by her father, and in 2023 she succeeded the Duke of Kent as president of the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. Anne is also the patron of Transy, a charity established by Save the Children and the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport, which focuses on providing safe and sustainable transport solutions in developing countries. She continues to champion women in STEM through her role as the Royal Patron of WISE, a group that encourages young women to pursue careers in science, engineering, and construction. In 2022, she was named honorary chair of the National Lighthouse Museum's Illuminating Future Generations campaign, working to raise funds for the museum's gallery space. Over the years, Anne has also held leadership positions with several historical guilds, such as the Worshipful Company of Carmen, the Worshipful Company of Farmers, and the Worshipful Company of Fishmongers. In addition, she became a governor of Gresham School in 2017. King Charles was born on the 14th of November, 1948, while his grandfather, King George, was still on the throne. As the first child of Princess Elizabeth, who later became Queen Elizabeth II, and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, his arrival was a significant moment for the royal family. Charles was delivered by the cesarean section at Buckingham Palace, and his christening took place on the 15th of December, 1948, in the music room at the palace. The Archbishop of Canterbury, Geoffrey Pfizer, led the ceremony. In February 1952, when Charles was just 3, King George VI passed away, and his mother became Queen Elizabeth II, making Charles the heir to the throne. With that, he inherited titles like the Duke of Cornwall and the Duke of Rothesay. The following year, he attended his mother's coronation at Westminster Abbey, a historic event. His education began at Hill House School in West London in 1956, where the headmaster ensured that Charles wasn't given any special treatment, even encouraging him to play football to keep him grounded. After Hill House, Charles moved to Chim School in Hampshire, following in his father's footsteps. In 1962, he went to Gordonstoun in Scotland, another school his father had attended. Gordonstoun was known for its strictness, and Charles found it tough, initially famously describing it as sits in kilts. However, in later years, he reflected more positively on his experience, saying it taught him valuable life lessons, even though he once struggled with the school's rigorous nature. In a 1975 interview, he mentioned he was ultimately glad he went there, though he believed some of the school's toughness was overblown. In 1966, Charles expanded his horizons by spending 2 terms at Timbertop, a remote campus of Geelong Grammar School in Australia. This stint gave him a taste of life away from the royal bubble and allowed him to experience more more independence. During his time at Geelong Grammar's Timbertop campus, King Charles visited Papua New Guinea on a school trip with his history tutor, Michael Collins Percy. After returning to Gordonstone, he continued to carve his path, becoming the head boy, a position that showcased his leadership abilities. He graduated in 1967 with 6 O-levels and 2 A-levels in history and French receiving grades of B and C. Despite his academic achievements, Charles reflected that he didn't enjoy school as much as he could have, often feeling happier at home, breaking royal tradition. He chose to go straight to university after completing his A-levels instead of joining the British Armed Forces. In October 1967, he began studying at Trinity College, Cambridge, initially focusing on archaeology and anthropology. He later switched to history for the latter part of his degree. In June 1970, Charles became the first British heir to the throne to earn a university degree, graduating with a 2.2 Bachelor of Arts BA degree. Following the customary practice, his BA was upgraded to a Master of Arts degree in August 1975. In 1976, during training for the Montreal Olympics, she suffered a serious accident when her horse fell and rolled over her. The fall resulted in a concussion, bruises, and fractured vertebrae.
I think the horse did a very good job in staying upright because although he fell, he didn't roll over, which would have been much more painful.
Despite losing her memory and spending several days in the hospital, she made an impressive recovery. Within weeks, Anne was back in the saddle, determined to make the Olympic team an embodiment of her resilience. Fast forward to 2002, and Anne made headlines again, but this time for an incident involving her beloved dog, Dodie. While out walking her 3 bull terriers, Dodie chased after 2 boys on bicycles, knocking them off. Anne was charged with failing to control her dog. Unlike other royals who might have escaped legal consequences, Anne faced the situation head-on. She pleaded guilty, paid the fines, and ensured Dodie received training. This episode made Anne the first British royal with a criminal conviction, but she took it in stride. King Charles, who admired her no-nonsense attitude, quietly stood by her throughout the ordeal. Beyond these public trials, Princess Anne has also experienced significant personal heartbreak. In 2021, she lost her father, Prince Philip, who passed away at the age of 99. Just over a year later, in September 2022, her mother, Queen Elizabeth II, passed at 96. Losing both parents in such a short span was a huge emotional blow for the royal family. However, Anne remained a pillar of strength, supporting King Charles as he took on the responsibility of the throne. Amidst the mourning, Anne managed family affairs with calm and grace, even being the first to greet Prince Harry upon his return for his grandmother's funeral. Her ability to stay composed in times of personal and public loss has earned her great respect, both within the family and from the public. King Charles often turns to Anne for advice, relying on her steady presence and cool-headed nature during difficult times. The bond between King Charles and Princess Anne has remained strongly rooted in their shared childhood experiences of royal life. Their closeness is evident in their ability to rely on each other during significant life events, whether personal or public. As adults, both Charles and Anne have embraced their roles within the royal family, often representing the monarchy together at various engagements. Their shared commitment to duty and service has further solidified their bond, with both siblings understanding the pressures and expectations that come with their titles in times of crisis or change. Their relationship has served as a source of strength, with Anne often being a trusted confidant to Charles. Being just 21 months apart in age helped them form a tight-knit relationship during their early childhood. While their parents were often engaged in royal duties, Anne and Charles were cared for by nannies and governesses. Family friends recall that even as a child, Anne was confident and assertive, often taking charge and challenging her brother's status as the future king. Their shared love of horses and outdoor activities significantly strengthened their bond during their youth. They enjoyed riding, attending polo matches, and exploring the countryside together. Anne's adventurous spirit and confidence sometimes overshadowed Charles, who admired her resilience and tenacity. Despite a typical sibling rivalry, they shared a profound sense of responsibility toward their family and the royal institution. In public, their closeness was particularly evident during significant events, especially after the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in 2022. Anne was a constant presence by Charles's side as he prepared to take on the mantle of king. During the funeral procession, the strength of their lifelong bond was palpable, with Anne's unwavering support demonstrating their deep connection. At Charles's coronation, Anne played a vital role as a gold stick in waiting, a position responsible for the monarch's safety. This honor not only reflected her dedication to royal duty, duty, but also the trust Charles placed in her, riding behind him during the procession and symbolizes her essential role in his reign. Recently, their sibling dynamic has evolved further, as King Charles relies on Anne, who has become one of his most trusted confidants. She acts as a steady pillar, taking on additional duties to alleviate the burden of his royal responsibilities. When Charles announced his cancer diagnosis in February 2024, Anne quietly stepped up to fill in for him, maintaining her busy schedule of royal engagements while supporting her brother during a challenging time. As one of the busiest royals, Anne's unwavering devotion to Charles has earned her respect within the royal family and beyond. The bond between them extends beyond duty and responsibility. It also encompasses moments of affection and lightheartedness. For instance, Anne stood by Charles during the loss of their parents while he supported her through her divorce from Mark Phillips. As Charles ascended to the throne, Anne noticed the weight of responsibility taking its toll on him, leading her to express private concerns for his well-being. However, Anne's relationship with Queen Camilla is more complex and strained. Despite being part of the same royal family, Queen Camilla and Princess Anne have never truly connected on a personal level. Anne's strong work ethic and commitment to duty often clash with Camilla's more relaxed approach to royal responsibilities, which has caused frustration. A notable instance of this occurred when Camilla took a holiday shortly after King Charles's cancer diagnosis. Anne, who had stepped up to take on more royal engagements without complaint, found this break unnecessary and almost frivolous, especially during a time of staff shortages and workload crises. Royal insiders have noted that, despite her ability to hide her frustrations, Anne harbored growing concerns about Camilla's dedication to her royal duties. While publicly diplomatic, she privately questioned Camilla's suitability for her role as queen, believing that Camilla should be known as Queen Consort, a title that carries significant weight and respect. Anne has a reputation for being straightforward and occasionally brusque, earning her the nickname Her Royal Rudess. The media has often portrayed her as distant and proud, but those who have interacted with her know her to be fiercely intelligent and engaging. Her sharp tongue and quick wit are traits she inherited from her father, Prince Philip, which adds to her unique personality. Her strong work ethic is exemplified by her being dubbed the hardest working royal between 2002 and 2022. She completed 11,088 engagements, more than any other royal family member. Anne's hands-on approach has made her one of the most beloved royals in Britain, earning her accolades from the media and the public alike. Her unorthodox habits like doing her makeup and driving herself to events further highlight her relatable and grounded nature. Despite her royal status, she has been seen fixing fences at her estate and even waiting in line at events, emphasizing her down-to-earth personality. Her refusal to engage in customary public behaviors, such as shaking hands during walkabouts, reinforced her belief in practicality over ceremony. Princess Anne left Charles a heartfelt message following his cancer diagnosis in February 2024. This message was seen as her ultimate sacrifice, demonstrating her deep commitment to supporting her brother during a challenging time. How this message impacts their bond remains to be seen, but it illustrates Anne's willingness to prioritize her brother's well-being over any personal grievances she may have regarding their royal roles. As the dynamics with and the royal family continue to evolve, the relationships between these key figures will undoubtedly shape the future of the monarchy. The strength of the bond between Anne and Charles, paired with the complexities of Anne's relationship with Camilla. Under British law, the entire estate can pass to the new monarch without incurring a 40% inheritance tax, and as the Queen's only daughter and a dedicated working royal, recognize the implications of her decision. Unlike her brothers, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, who may rely more heavily on their family wealth, Anne preferred to support herself and her private expenses through her means. This sacrifice, estimated at nearly $850 million, was not just a financial gesture. It was a statement about her commitment to the royal family and the institution. Anne's decision left many, including Queen Camilla, in shock. Observers noted that Camilla's difficulty in understanding Anne's selflessness fueled public sentiment, questioning her suitability as queen, particularly in light of her perceived self-centered nature. The emotional response from King Charles highlighted the strength of the bond he shares with Anne, which is built on mutual care and loyalty. Anne's willingness to prioritize the monarchy over her personal gain profoundly moved Charles, prompting some to speculate that his tears also reflected a sadness that his Queen Camilla did not share Anne's level of selflessness. Despite her unwavering dedication to royal duties, Princess Anne has a surprising and multifaceted side that often distinguishes her from other members of the royal family. Known for her fierce independence and no-nonsense attitude, she has gained respect for her straightforwardness and commitment to causes close to her heart, especially in the realms of charity and service. Princess Anne's selfless actions and vibrant personality continue to shine through reinforcing her important role in the monarchy's future. Princess Anne's unconventional side is one of the many aspects that set her apart within the royal family. Despite the traditional expectations placed on members of the monarchy, Anne has carved out her own identity, often defying norms, while remaining deeply committed to her royal duties. Anne has often been referred to as the royal family's most reliable anchor, and has earned recognition as a symbol of traditional public service. Having attended over 20,000 events since turning 18, her dedication to duty is unquestionable.
A bigger one?
However, her decision not to give her children royal titles, despite being second in line to the throne, marked her as a royal rebel. This choice reflects her belief in personal autonomy over royal privilege, a stance that can be seen as both progressive and unconventional within the context of royal traditions. Regarding the tragic message Princess Anne shared with King Charles, her selfless act of stepping back from her inheritance to support the monarchy underscores her deep sense of duty and loyalty. It reflects her belief in the importance of the institution over individual gain. Many people admire her for this sacrifice, seeing it as a testament to her character. As for whether King Charles is worthy of such a selfless act, opinions may vary. Charles has often faced scrutiny and challenges as he navigates his role as king, especially following the loss of both parents in a short period. The bond he shares with Anne, built on mutual respect and loyalty, suggests that he understands the gravity of her gesture. Ultimately, Princess Anne's unconventional side, combined with her unwavering commitment to duty and advocacy, has solidified her status as a respected member of the royal family.